What's up everybody, this is Jonathan here from Immortal Engines. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. There's a lot of fun stuff coming up. In this video, we're going to be working on the Yamaha R6. This is the 5th video of this motorcycle conversion, and we are literally done with the bike, except that we need to do some very necessary mods to the bike. Before we go ahead and install those cool mods, we need to get this bike a very needed wash. You guys have probably seen in the video that the bike is filthy, it's got dust everywhere, and there's a reason for that. The tank has been freshly painted about a week ago, and I did not want to wet the bike, including the tank. So now that the paint has cured for about a week, I feel like it's safe to go ahead and scrub it and wash it. So that's what we're gonna do now. Let's go. Boom guys, there it is. Just finished washing it. I swear it takes longer to wash a bike than it does to put it together, but it's very worth it. It looks like a brand new bike. I got very lucky with all the parts that I got for this bike. Everything is in mint condition, especially after a wash. It looks so good. Look at that tank, guys. Look at it. Oh, it looks beautiful. Very beautiful, but it looks a little bit empty. It looks a little bit naked. So we got something for the tank. I swapped this from my old tank from the 3rd gen R6. I don't know how, but it fits perfectly. And look at the front. Everything is nice and tidy. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna get the bike off of the stands, move it back there to the shop, and then we're gonna start installing our very needed awesome little mods. Let's go. Alright guys, so now that we got the bike nice and clean, we gotta do a couple more things to 100% finish it. I'm gonna have to prop up the tank. I'm gonna have to take the front off. I already got the brackets that I was telling you guys in the last video. I already got them in the mail, so we're gonna be installing those. I do have some tank grips that I'm gonna be installing, so I really wanna get this done before that. So here we go. And there we have them, guys. These are those two right there. I think I have found the most difficult job of this conversion, getting those things out. Those are so frustrating to get to. This is the typical like 1/1000th of a turn at a time type of situation. It took forever, and now we gotta do it again. But at least it will be the last time, because we're gonna be installing these guys right here that should fit perfectly to hold that tank in place. So I think I'm gonna spare you the pain of another time lapse, and I'll just get back to you guys once those are in. Okay guys, so here we go. I finally got them installed, and if you see, they have this small metal thing here, which is to hold the hose on either side. And if you're curious when you buy these which side is which, it's simple. The wire thingy goes facing back, so that's that side. And this is this other side. Okay, so it wasn't that bad to put him back on as it was to put him in, but it still was like a 10-minute job, five minutes aside, which is ridiculous for one screw. but it's done. I'll never mess with that again. So I took the plastics off of the side of the tank and I took the seat off because our next modification is gonna be a brand new phone mount slash charger. And what's cool about this one is that first of all, the charger works because mine broke, and second, this is a new one and it has wireless charging in the center. So what I'm gonna be doing is on that side of the bike, I'm gonna be installing this right here. And here, let me show you guys how I do this actually. So you see how this got this adjustable ball system? What I do is I take the screw off of the brake reservoir and I install my first thing right there, and then I install the rest exactly where it is. It's actually centered and it looks great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the old one and I'm going to install the new one. Here we go. So I ran the wires all the way to the front. I installed it on the front and I ran the wires pretty close to the wire that we use for the daylight running lights. So just for reference, that's the routing that I used. And now we're gonna go here on the front. If my camera doesn't fall, there we go. And I already see that it has a blue light on at the bottom. So technically I put this phone in right here and it should start charging. So let's see. Whoa. It works. Look at that. Wow, I'm quite pleased with that. So it is not fast charging like it says it does, but it's charging indeed. I'm gonna see how this goes, and if it's too slow, I'm just gonna get a short USB Type-C connector. And I believe, yeah, right here on this side, it comes with a USB port right there. But I'm gonna try and avoid using that. It's actually quite nice to have the phone mounted right there. So up next, I have another mod for this motorcycle, and here, let me get it for you guys. I got a Puig racing screen for this motorcycle. I think she's gonna look awesome with it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one right here and install this one and see what it looks like. Let's go. Dang guys, check it out. I think it looks great. So we got our phone mounted and our new racing shield installed. I can already tell when I'm sitting on the bike how much higher the air is going to slip above my head, so that's probably gonna feel amazing. And also the looks, I love the tinted look. I think it makes the bike look a lot better. One funny thing about this that you might encounter if you get one is it seems like it comes shrunken like that. I actually had to stretch it so that it would reach the bolt holes, but after that it wasn't a big deal. So maybe that's on purpose for strength. Maybe they do it so that it's got some kind of preload on the part, so because it's pulling on either side, it's kind of like sturdier. I'm not exactly sure, but that's what I think that's for. But yeah, I actually got this one from Amazon, and sometimes on a lot of parts or products, there's a new and below it says used, and I saw the used button. Amazon is pretty good with returns, so if you don't like the product, you can just ship it back at no expense to you. So there is really no way to lose there. This one hardly has a scuff somewhere, I think here, but nothing I couldn't put on it myself in the first week of ownership. So I think it's a great deal. I paid about half price for it, which is great. And this guy I also got from Amazon. And next up, we're gonna install something that I'm really excited about. So let me show you what it is. Okay guys, so for the next mod on the Yamaha R6 is a very necessary mod that you can't go without if you have a brand new bike or if you have your tank repainted, for example. And that is your tank spec grips. I want to thank my friends from TechSpec for sending this over to me. I told them what I was doing and they were totally cool. They said no problem. They went ahead and they sent me one of their kits so that I could show you guys how to install it and how it looks afterwards. So let's wait no more and let's get our TechSpec tank grips installed on our bike. Here we go. Let's just get it going. Yep, I think we're doing good so far. Going to continue with the rest. And just so you guys know, when I had the previous tank on the R6, its original tank, it came with TechSpec grips on it, but I did not install it myself, so I don't have experience at all. Okay. Oh, look at that. Looks like I did well. Whoa, that's gonna feel amazing. So yeah, it looks like I got even gaps all the way around. So now the next one is this guy right here. So what I see is there's a pretty aggressive bend right there. So what I'm gonna do, it's a little bit cold outside and it's always good to have rubber be warm before installing it. So I'm gonna go put it in front of the heater for a few minutes and come back. Okay, so let's move on to grip number 2. I just brought it back. It's far more malleable than it was, which is a good thing. So thanks to this hole, it makes life a lot easier. So all you gotta do is sort of line it up there, and then line up all your lines on the rest of this plastic piece right here. So I'm gonna focus on this bit right here, like that. This part right here seems to be the sharpest bend, so I would make sure it's nice and in there, and I'm gonna continue to do the rest. Again, it really helps that it's warm, so if it's not warm outside or wherever you have your bike, at least bring your tank grips to a warm area, like in front of a heater. Hold it there for like a minute or two and it makes it much easier. It's still warm to the touch. Yeah, this guy's cold, but this one, wow, so cool. I'm so excited. I can't wait to sit on the bike with these. All right, so that's this side. What am I gonna do next is I'm gonna do the other side, and the last piece we're gonna do is the center. So let's move on to the other side and keep going. So make sure that you massage it properly in place. But wow, this is actually really easy to install. I'm very impressed. All right, so now I'm gonna get you guys up here. Okay guys, last piece is this guy right here. And it's the most important because it's the one you really don't want to screw up. So I personally, I'm going to place mine about here. But I like being exact, so 2 1/4. 2 1/4, okay, that looks good. And here we go. Wow. All right guys, and because they were one of the few people that believed in me and helped me out when I needed it, I'm gonna put my new sponsor here, TechSpec, Again, I want to thank them for helping me out. So there you have it, guys. I got the tank spec finished up on the bike. They look amazing as expected. The fit and finish is just incredible. Look at that. I also think I did a good job installing them. So once again, thank you very much TechSpec for sending these in. And for all of you guys, if you're interested to buy these tank grips, I'm gonna put a link in the video description, so make sure to check it out. If you have a 2017 and up Yamaha R6, that link will work because it's this exact kit. But if you have any other motorcycle, just go to their website or to the people that work with them and sell their product. They probably have tank grips for pretty much every sport motorcycle out there. So once again, thank you guys, and let's move on to the next mod. Here we go. Okay guys, so moving on to the next thing, down here where the fender used to be on the motorcycle, now we have this huge hole. And if you have a license plate holder that goes right there, well, that's what you do, and that's how you cover that hole. In my case, I will probably not be mounting the license plate right there. I'm gonna try and see if I can find something to mount it down there where it used to be on my other bike. I think the look is much cleaner. So for the meantime, I got myself a closeout. This one, I actually got it from the same guy that sold me the tank mounts for either side of the bike. So this came from another R6. So this is like the 6th bike part that's going into this bike right here. So it's like a Frankenstein of a bunch of R6s, but it fits pretty nice. And I think it's gonna look great. So I'm gonna put the bolts on because I mean, that's not interesting enough for a time lapse, and show you what it looks like. Here we go. Okay guys, so next we're gonna work on the license plate holder for this motorcycle. They sell some that you can put from the closeout right there, but these people want like $130 for a license plate holder. I know you're probably gonna call me cheap after everything I did, but come on, really? For a license plate holder, it's just a bracket. So I'm not doing that, and what I'm gonna do is, when I bought these fairings, I got lucky that it came with this horrible factory license plate slash fender thing over here, and at the bottom of it there's this bracket right here, and I pulled it off, but I never mocked it up because I was busy trying to finish other things. But if you have this thing, or if you have the opportunity to grab it for an extra 20 bucks, it's definitely worth it because you can sell those lights for quite a bit of money. So we're gonna put that aside, and right here we have the license plate holder from my other fairings, but this doesn't mount up there as nicely, and I would have to drill holes, which I don't want to do. I don't want to ruin this bike underneath by making new holes, because it's just gonna be there if I ever decide to move the license plate. So right here, both of these holes used to have a plastic screw like that one right there to hold the plastics on. And what I'm gonna try and do, if you can see, this has a bit of an angle to it, and it has these bolts that are spot welded onto here. So if you look closely, they're not the same width, but it's pretty close. So what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna try and undo these from right here and see if I can drill new holes right here, and use the existing holes that are on the bike so that I can mount this right here. And after that, I'm pretty sure my license plate will be at the right spot, and it will be as high as possible, which is gonna be great. So let's go ahead and get that done so we can get this bike one step closer to being finished. Here we go. Okay guys, so here is what we ended up with: a severely modified Yamaha R6 bracket. I think this is gonna look really good actually, but before we install it on the bike, I just wanted to point out something to you guys. So on either side, this license plate bracket has these things right here. You can go ahead and cut them off because it will show on either side of this license plate frame, that also in my case has an LED light. This is the original one from the other fairings. So I ovaled out the holes right here so that the screws would fit in. I have washers, so that's gonna fit really nice. And I added these holes right here, which is where the license plate is gonna mount from. This is steel, so steel is pretty strong. If this was aluminum, I'd be afraid that it could break, but I don't think this will. I'm gonna keep an eye on it, and in case I see it that it's starting to break or something, but I highly doubt it. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna give it a light coat of paint so that it looks good. And then I'm gonna put it on the bike and show you guys what it looks like. Here we go. Okay guys, so before I install the license plate, I wanted to show you what I did here. So right under the bike right here, on these two holes right here, I grabbed a very small screwdriver and I pushed in there until I was pushing on the plastic, and then I began to twist like this with force upwards, and eventually I went all the way through. You don't have enough room to fit a drill, and I also don't recommend it, but that poking and turning will eventually stress the plastic enough to where your very small and thin screwdriver will go all the way through. After that, I had like my pilot hole, and then I grabbed a bigger drill bit and I just started to drill around it. And as you can see, I have a nut in there and a big enough hole to insert a 10mm socket to spin it, because I want to have the screw head on this side holding it up, because I think it's gonna look better. So now I'm gonna go ahead and put the license plate on the bracket that's drying over there and put them on the bike, and then show you what it looks like. And after a lot of work and a lot of outside the box thinking, drilling, cutting, grinding, and painting, the license plate is finally mounted. Look at that, guys. So with the license plate mounted, there's only another small job I have to do, which is I have to connect the license plate wires somewhere down here. So on my bike, that already had been done, and there is a couple of wires that have been tapped into that I simply just need to go and plug into, and that will make sure that the license plate has a light. So that's not a problem. I don't think I need to show you guys, because if you get a license plate holder of your own with lights, it's probably going to come with instructions on how to wire it to the motorcycle. So that being said, we're ready to put the final touch on this Yamaha R6 conversion. And the last thing to do, we have to install the Yamaha logo. I had to buy an entire front fairing piece that was cracked but had good logos on it, because I wanted to make sure I installed original logos on the bike. But let's not wait anymore, and let's get this installed on the bike. Just like that, the Yamaha R6 is finished. Alright guys, that's everything for today. In the next video, we're going to be going on the maiden voyage, the test ride on this motorcycle, and we're also going to be talking about every part that was used on this conversion, and I'm also going to be telling you guys how much everything cost. So thank you for watching, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell notification icon so that you're notified next time I upload a video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.